She showed up the moment my boat touched the water. No hello, no warning. She just marched down the dock like she owned the whole lake and yelled, "That boat is too big. You can't park that here." I was still untying the rope when she blew her whistle. Yes, a real whistle, like she was calling a football timeout. Behind her, a whole line of SUVs began pulling into her giant lodge. And suddenly it felt like she had brought an entire army with her. I tried to stay calm. But she shoved a paper in my face and said, "This lake is controlled by my HOA. And your boat violates rule number 1, no mega yachts." Almost laughed. Because there is no HOA on this lake. Never has been. But she kept waving that paper and shouting like she was seconds away from banning oxygen. Then she snapped her fingers. 2 of her men in fake uniforms rushed forward. "Tow his boat away right now." She screamed, "I don't care where he lives, he's not allowed here." They weren't even looking at the paper. They were just trying to impress her. I didn't move, because I knew something she didn't. This wasn't her lake. This wasn't her dock. And that boat she was trying to tow, it wasn't mine. It belonged to someone she absolutely did not want to mess with. And he was already on his way. Her voice got louder. Her fake cops pulled out a tow line. And for a moment, I watched them, wondering how far she would go before she realized she was about to start a fight she couldn't win. The water behind us started to ripple. Someone powerful was coming. The water behind us split as a sleek black patrol boat rushed toward the DR fast, silent and official in a way her HOA officers could never fake. Karen froze for half a second, then quickly pointed at it like she had summoned it herself. "That's my enforcement team," she shouted. "They're here to remove your illegal yacht." But the boat didn't even glance at her. It headed straight toward the yacht, then slowed almost respectfully. The officer on board lifted his hand to me and said, "Sir, we're here for the VIP inspection." The owner just called. Karen's face dropped. "VIP?" she whispered, her whistle slipping from her hand. Her 2 fake cops stopped pulling the tow line, looking confused. They had no clue what they had just stepped into. I stepped back on the dock and said, "Karen, this isn't a regular boat, and you have absolutely no idea who you're trying to tow." She scoffed. "I don't care if the president owns it. I run this lake, and anyone who violates my rules," she didn't finish. Suddenly, the yacht's upper deck door opened, and a tall man stepped out. He didn't shout. He didn't rush. He just stood there with a calm authority that made even the waves go quiet. Karen blinked fast. Who is that?" I didn't answer. I let her panic build, because she should panic. The man looked down at Karen and said, in a voice that carried across the whole dock, "Why are you touching my boat?" Her knees almost buckled. She wasn't expecting that. She wasn't expecting him. And this was just the beginning of her nightmare. Karen straightened, her shoulders like she suddenly remembered her imaginary power. She pointed at the man on the yacht and said, "You can't dock here. Your boat is too big and I run this lake. So unless you want your membership revoked," he didn't even blink. He just stepped closer to the railing, looking down at her with the kind of calm that makes people nervous. "Membership?" he said, "Karen. There is no HOA here." She froze again, but she tried to recover. "Well, there is now. I formed one last month. I sent out notices." I held up the notice she shoved at me earlier. "You wrote this on a home printer. You didn't even spell regulation right." Her jaw tightened. "I don't need spelling to enforce rules." The real officer on the patrol boat let out a tiny laugh before quickly covering it with a cough. Karen heard it. Her face went red, angry red, not embarrassed red. She spun toward him and yelled, "You, arrest him. That man is illegally docking a vessel on HOA property." The officer stepped off the boat slowly, almost pitying her. "Ma'am, this dock is owned by the state. And that yacht," the man on the yacht finished his sentence for him quietly, "is government property." Karen's mouth dropped open. Her fake officers looked like they wanted to melt into the water. The man stepped off the yacht and walked down the dock. As he approached, Karen took a step back, then another, and another. "You tried to tow a federal vessel," he said. "You impersonated law enforcement. And you attempted to claim ownership of a lake you don't even have rights to. Karen's voice shook. I didn't know. I thought I was told by who? He asked. Karen didn't answer. Because the truth was simple. She had made everything up. And now she was caught. But she still had one more trick planned. A desperate one. Karen backed up until her heels hit the grass. She suddenly pointed toward the long line of black SUVs parked outside her giant lodge. There with me, she yelled. My club is arriving. And you can't tell us what to do on our lake. One by one, doors swung open. And almost 50 people stepped out, all wearing the same matching jackets with giant HOA initials printed on the back. They weren't police. They weren't officials. They were just a group of angry, entitled people who believed every rumor she fed them. They marched toward the dock like they were about to seize it. Karen smirked, confidence flooding back. You see, my community supports me, and we vote here. So if we say the yacht leaves, then it leaves? I felt the officer beside me tense. The man from the yacht didn't move at all. He waited until the entire group lined up behind Karen. Then he spoke softly. You brought your whole club here for this? Karen lifted her chin proudly. Yes, and we'll call every boat, every tow truck, every before she could finish. The officer raised his radio. Control, confirm, he said. A calm voice responded instantly. Confirmed. The entire shoreline lodge is sitting on restricted land. Enforcement units arriving now? Karen blinked. Restricted? What? No, this lodge is mine. I host events here. The officer nodded toward the road, and then they arrived. Real police, dozens of them driving in from the trees, lights flashing but sirens off, moving with the quiet confidence of people who had actual authority. Karen's entire group fell silent as the cars formed a line across the lawn. Karen spun in a circle, confused. Why are they here? The yacht owner stepped closer, his voice calm but sharp. Because every document you filed, every boundary you drew, every rule you created, was on land that doesn't belong to you. The state has been investigating for months. And today, you made it easy for us. Her club members looked around nervously. Several were already stepping back toward their cars. Karen's voice cracked. Wait, this is a misunderstanding. I just wanted control. I just wanted order. By lying? He asked. Her lips trembled. But then desperation lit her eyes. She pointed at me. This is Ice's fault. She screamed, Arrest him! He brought that boat. He started everything. Dozens of eyes turned toward me, and she had no idea that accusing me was about to make everything worse for her. Everyone went quiet when she pointed at me. Like the entire lake froze for a second. Karen marched toward the officers, waving her arms wildly. He's trespassing. She shouted. He brought that giant boat to break my rules. He's dangerous. Arrest him now. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I just looked at her. And waited. The officer from the patrol boat stepped between us. Ma'am, he said slowly, do you even know who you're accusing? Karen threw her hands up. A nobody. A troublemaker. Someone disrespecting my HOA. The man from the yacht finally turned his full attention toward her. His tone changed, not loud but heavy, like a door closing. You should stop talking, he warned. Karen ignored him completely. No, I'm the victim here. He provoked me. He set me up. That's when the officer tapped his radio again. Control, he said. Confirm identity on the civilian by the dock. A short pause. Then a reply came through the speaker, confirmed. He is the landowner on record for the entire east side of the lake, including the dock, including the shoreline Karen trespassed on. A landowner? No, that can't be right. He can't own this much. But the officer wasn't done, and he's also the one who filed the original report against your fake HOA 2 months ago. Her eyes snapped toward me in disbelief. You reported me. I nodded calmly. The day you tried to tow my neighbor's kayak for being too colorful? Gasps rippled through her crowd. A few of her officers quietly removed their jackets. Karen wasn't giving up. She grabbed the fake notice from my hand and waved it again. This is real. I have rights. The yacht owner stepped forward, his voice now sharp enough to cut her excuses in half. You trespassed. You forged documents. You impersonated officers. You tried to seize state property. And now, you've just attempted to accuse the legal landowner of a federal crime. Karen stumbled back, shaking her head. No, I didn't know. I was standing up for the community. I thought you didn't think, he said. You wanted control. And you picked the wrong lake. Real officers began moving toward her. Her club members scattered, pretending they barely knew her. And Karen. She looked like a cornered animal trying to find one last escape. And she took it. In a panic, she lunged toward the patrol boat, grabbed the radio, screamed into it. HOA emergency. I need backup. All units respond. She didn't realize the radio wasn't connected to her people. It was connected to the actual state network. And her final mistake was the loudest one yet. Karen's scream echoed across the lake as she clutched that radio, like it was the only thing keeping her alive. HOA emergency. Send backup. Now. Static answered her. Then a calm voice replied, Ma'am, you're using a state channel. Step away from the equipment. Every officer on the lawn moved at once, Karen snapped. She tried to run first, toward her lodge, then toward the water. Then back toward her SUVs, but everywhere she turned, real authority closed in. Her club members ran for their cars like rats fleeing a sinking ship. Some even peeled off their jackets and tossed them into the grass. Karen didn't stop screaming. You can't do this to me. This is my lake. I built this community. I make the rules. You hear me? I make the rules. But her voice cracked when she realized no one was standing behind her anymore. Not a single member, not a single fake officer. Even her closest supporter. Climbed into an SUV and sped away without looking back. The patrol officer held out a hand. Ma'am, stop resisting, Karen spun, pointing straight at me again. Her last wild excuse? He tricked me. He planned this. He turned everyone against me. The yacht owner stepped beside me, calm as ever. No, he said. You did that yourself. Karen lunged toward the dock like she'd throw herself into the water rather than face consequences, but two officers gently caught her arms and guided her back. Handcuffs clicked. Her voice turned from rage to panic. Double quotes, wait dash, please dash, just give me a warning. I didn't mean it. I just wanted people to listen to me. The officer shook his head. People listen when you earn respect, not when you steal it. They walked her toward the patrol cars. Her whistle lay on the ground, cracked in half. Silence settled over the lake. The yacht owner looked out over the calm water and nodded toward my dock. You handled that well, he said. I shrugged. She made it pretty easy. He smiled finally and offered his hand. We'll be removing her lodge and her fake HOA records. You'll get full control of your shoreline again. And the boat? I asked. He looked back at the massive yacht. Keep it here. This lake is safer in your hands than hers. The officers cleared out. The fake HOA was gone. The shoreline felt peaceful, again real, quiet, free, as the sun dropped behind the trees. The yacht owner stepped back onto his deck and said one last thing before the door closed. People who fight for their land always win in the end. I stood on my dock as the gentle waves hit the wood. No sirens, no shouting, no fake rules. Just the sound of a lake finally getting its freedom back. And as Karen's convoy disappeared down the road, escorted by real police, one thought crossed my mind. This lake was never hers. It never would be. And today, she finally learned that the hard way.